This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Tim Daniel, and today's episode is brought to you by Odoo. Great organizations win because operations matter, and that's why you should get Odoo. Try for free at odoo.com/lockedon. That's odoo.com/lockedon. On tonight's show, we're going to talk about, I have the wrong slides up. All right, wrong background. Let's do this again. Off to a good start. We're like the Reds. My apologies, guys. But on tonight's show, we're going to talk about the fact that they had the gutsy play at the ninth inning as JJ Bleday tries to get that steal. Tyler Stephenson keeps hitting the ball hard, just not dropping as much as it was. Brady Singer was awesome today. And once again, the Reds have an extremely silent offense. All that and a whole lot more. Let's get started.
This is what you'll be talking about.
So the Reds had 3 hits tonight. And all right, that's the game. Yeah. All right. Everyone have a good night. I'll see you guys on tomorrow. But no, all joking aside. Obviously a pitcher's duel is normally pretty fun to watch. Jesus Luzardo was awesome. Brady Singer was awesome. We're talking about Brady more in the next segment. But just watching these two dudes go head to head was a lot of fun to watch. And the Reds are on the other side of it. But that's obviously normally how it goes. In these pitchers duels, because the Reds offense, it gets a little stagnant, right? And tonight, stagnant would be putting it nicely, as the Reds had 3 hits and 2 walks and struck out as a team 14 times. Everybody tonight had at least 1 strikeout. They went 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 on base. And I don't even know if I'd say they had their opportunities tonight, right? I mean, 5 plate appearances with runners in scoring position. You lose 1-0, and like, I don't know if I would say oh, they had all these opportunities where if they get this big hit, they're going to be in this game. Like, not so much tonight. And that happens. It's baseball. Things were weird, especially, but you kind of saw this coming, right? When they scored 11 last night. Sorry, my glasses are just very foggy right now. But they scored 11 last night, and tonight you knew what was going to happen. As soon as you saw that, I was waiting for the save the run, some runs for tomorrow crowd to come in last night, and they never did. I'm so ashamed. But yeah, once Justin Crawford put that ball in, hit that ball into the outfield and scored Derek Hill, you knew the game was over. So it's, I don't know. I can't say frustrating loss anymore because we kind of know this is how the season's gone. You obviously want to see them win this game and take a series from a really good team like the Phillies, but I guess there's worse things to do than lose 1-0. I don't know. I'm drawing straws here, but I don't know. This is kind of just to start a game where it's like, all right, you pick it up and you go, especially when one of those 3 hits was a infield single for TJ Friedl. You're like, okay, so there's that part at least, I guess. But all in all, obviously not a great day for the Reds offense, even though we're going to have 2 portions of this show today. We're going to talk about the Reds offense, but one guy who was very awesome today was Brady Singer.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I feel so bad for Brady Singer because of how good he pitched today. He still got on the hook for the loss. And this, folks, is why pitchers' wins and losses are stupid, and you should not judge the players. You judge players' results by that. Tonight, he went 7 1/3, giving up just 1 run, having 5 strikeouts. Now, all these teams at the trade deadline who are really going to need starting pitching, sure hope you're watching Brady Singer tonight. Hope he sends some scouts to GABP. The Reds would definitely appreciate it because he was awesome. And look, he has been awesome now for a few weeks. I know, the record says 3-9. Whatever. ERA says 4.72. Whatever. Last 7, he's got a 2.79 ERA. In 38 2/3 innings, he has 40 strikeouts, 12 earned runs, 15 walks, a 1.19 whip, and his record is 1-4. So this is like why I just have this big gripe with pitchers' win-loss records, because he's been really, really good. And he's like given the Reds chances to win games a lot lately. Building off of that Baltimore outing was so-so. That Pittsburgh outing obviously wasn't very good, but he's found a way to put like better games together throughout the year. I mean, going into July, his ERA was 5.12, so he's definitely brought that down a little bit. Would like to see the offense back him up, obviously, but he did what he could out there. And I think when you're a starting pitcher and you have this offense, all you can do is just give your team a chance to win the game, and they couldn't do anything with it. Bullpen was kind of only responsible for 4 outs tonight. Sam Maul goes out there and finished up the 8th inning, gets 2 strikeouts, and then TJ Antone gets an inning and does give up a hit. But all in all, no disappointment in the pitching crew. When you have 3 guys pitch and you only give up 1 run, you have 7 strikeouts and only 1 walk, you should probably win the game. But, TJ Friedl is in that lineup and so on and so forth. Honestly, when you look at the lineup they put together, because the whole Matt McClain calf injury thing, not that that's adding much, I don't have an issue with the lineup today. I feel like that's probably something you can feel with who all's available. You can feel comfortable with, especially Ellie, Steer, Bleday. Ellie, Stewart, Bleday, Steer, great. Gino, it just looks lost. 3 strikeouts again tonight, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. I don't know how they get him back on track, but maybe they don't, and that would be super, super stinky. But we live and we learn, right? Hey, you know what though, guys? I know he only went 1 for 4 tonight, but Tyler Stephenson has been smoking the ball of late, and he had a few really hard hits tonight, including his base hit he had. So let's talk about Tyler Stephenson after the break. But first, this episode is brought to you by Indeed. When workplace chaos hits and you need the right hire, Indeed-sponsored jobs helps connect employers with candidates who match specific needs like skills, certifications, and location. So less time gets spent searching and more time gets spent finding the right fit. People are finding quality hires on Indeed right now. And the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Usually the biggest difference isn't doing someone doing more work. It's having somebody who knows exactly what needs to happen and helps everybody running smoother. One great addition can have a ripple effect on everyone around them. When you find someone who brings the right skills, attitude, and experience, like me to Locked On Reds, it makes the entire group better. That's why finding qualified candidates matters so much, and why tools like Indeed-sponsored jobs can help make that process easier. Whether it's deadlines piling up, too much on one person's plate, or trying to scale something quickly, the right person can completely change how a team operates. And that's why getting in front of qualified candidates matters. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. We need the right person to cut through the chaos. This is a job for Indeed-sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get you your premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed-sponsored jobs. This episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Proton VPN. Have you ever noticed how the second you search for something online, ads for that exact thing start following you everywhere? Or maybe you're traveling, trying to access a website, stream a game, or watch content you normally use at home, and suddenly you're hit with that message. This content isn't available in your region. That's why more and more people are turning to Proton VPN. Proton VPN is a secure VPN service designed for people who want more privacy, more security, and more control over how they experience the internet. It helps keep your online activity private, protects your data on public Wi-Fi, and gives you access to the internet the way it should work: open, secure, and on your terms. Unlike most VPNs, Proton is backed by strong European privacy laws, has a strict, independently verified no logs policy, and is built by a company focused on protecting users, not tracking them. In baseball, we spend a lot of time talking about gaining an edge and controlling what you can control. The same ideas apply online. Having the right tools can make a huge difference in your day-to-day experience. It's always frustrating when you're on the road and suddenly something you use all the time isn't available. That's one of those moments when having a tool like Proton VPN just makes life easier because you're not running into those unnecessary roadblocks. It's easy to get started right now. Proton VPN is offering our listeners 70% off a 2-year plan when you go to protonvpn.com/lockedonmlb. That's PROTONVPN.com/lockedonmlb for 70% off your 2-year plan. That's proton.com/lockedonmlb. And lastly, we are brought to you by our friends over at Odoo. Running a business shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that were never designed to work together. One app for accounting, another for inventory, another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. That's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, everything works in one place, helping your team move faster, stay organized, and focus on growing business instead of managing software. The best organizations know that success isn't just about talent. It's about having everyone work toward the same goal, and that's true in sports just like it is in business. You look at situations like, the Philadelphia Phillies getting rid of the manager and promoting Don Mattingly beginning of the year, and now they're chasing the NL wildcard spot. It seems like they're a team that kind of has everything moving in the right direction, right? They keep Kyle Schwarber, they keep Bryce Harper, they move on from Nick Castellanos, and that ends up being the move. Brandon Marsh gets more at-bats. Their lineup looks more set in stone with guys like Alec Boehm, and you see the Phillies just kind of taking off. You can tell it's not reactionary because they had a vision, stuck to it, and now you're seeing the results because everyone was on the same playbook. Great organizations win because operations matter, and that's why you should get Odoo. Try for free at odoo.com/lockedon. That's odoo.com/lockedon. Thank you to all our everydayers here on the Postcast for spending some time with us. And if you are an everydayer, now's the time to step up your everydayer game and join the Locked On Reds Everydayer Club. Go to lockedonreds.supercast.com, where you get $5 a month or $50 a year. You get access to ad-free episodes of all your favorite Locked On shows, and you also get access to our Discord chat as well. We're all in there talking ball, and we love talking ball with all of you. Let's talk a little bit about Ty Steve tonight, right? Because even though they lost 1-0, I still feel like he still provided a lot of quality for this team.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
I know it's hard to have an X Factor when you lose a game, but when you look at guys like Tyler Stephenson and what they're doing, man, he's hitting the ball really hard. And tonight he had 2 balls that were right at outfielder, line drives. His single was obviously really well hit. And of course, we know what he does behind the plate with ABS. He's just been so good of late. His last 15, we've gone through this already, but his last 15 games, a 320, 370, 440 slash line. It's been really good. Well, obviously, we know his ABS skills. I think Dave the other night asked, he's like, well, teams want Tyler Stephenson strictly because of his ABS skills. Like, yeah, they'll want that. And they'll also want the fact that he's a good hitting catcher. And those are so few and far between. Last night on the ESPN broadcast, Adam Ottavino specifically mentioned the New York Yankees as a fit for Tyler Stephenson, which I would not love, but I feel like he would fit so well on that team with all the dudes around him, with like Judge and Goldschmidt and Ben Rice. He'd be like a really nice catcher to have on that team, adding some more pop to the bottom of the lineup. I don't love it, but for him, I'd be really happy for him. So that's the part that, would be a bummer, but it's frustrating because I want more from him. And I feel like he's obviously played so well. I should say I want more for him because this is his contract year. We know he's going to be a guy that might not be here come the trade deadline. If the Reds are smart and they get a good offer, they probably should move on from him because we know they are highly unlikely to sign him back. But we'll see how things go. So great outing for Tyler Stephenson again. I know he had the strikeout in the 9th inning. I'm not super concerned about that. I want to get to JJ Bleday real quick because I know he only had 1 hit tonight, and that was a really, really good at-bat against Johan Duran that he had in the 9th inning. To see him kind of get a little gutsy and go for a steal. And look, they lost tonight. No one's going to come here and they're going to care. It was a 1-0 loss. I get it. But that kind of brought back those, like, the things we used to love about the Reds, right? When they would kind of take chances like that and they would try to win a game. Because if he gets caught, he gets caught. Whatever. It's the bottom of the 9th. It's 1 out at that point. Steer gets hit by the pitch, and that's when everything kind of goes downhill. But to see them kind of try that was pretty fun. And I'd like to see more of that for the rest of the season. I don't know what we're going to get from this. We know, obviously, that there's not high expectations for the Reds to turn this around when they're 8 games under 500 at this point. You are who you are. But if they want to do more things like that and wrinkle in some more fun, I'll take it because at least makes the game enjoyable to watch. But with that said, we do move on as the Reds are losers tonight to the Phillies, 1-0. The Phillies have 1 run on 5 hits and no errors. The Reds have 0 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Your winning pitcher tonight is Jesus Luzardo. He is 8-4 with a 3.51 ERA. Brady Singer takes the loss. He's 3-9 with a 4.72. And Johan Duran gets his 23rd save of the year, bringing his ERA down to 1.40. And now the Reds head into their final series before the All-Star break as Hunter Greene gets his 2nd start of the year tomorrow against the Chicago Cubs. If you remember the last time Hunter Greene pitched against the Chicago Cubs, it was very good. But right now, Greene's numbers look at 0-1 with a 21.6 ERA. Obviously, just one start. He'll be going against Shota Imanaga of the Cubs, who's 5-7 with a 4.28 ERA. First pitch will be at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. And hey, I feel really bad about this, so please understand. Saturday night, I will not be live. It's the first game I've ever missed in the postcast. But those who follow Jeff on social media, Jeff Carr from us here at Locked On Reds, know that him and his beautiful wife are going to have a baby. So we're going to all go out to the ballpark on Saturday night. We're going to celebrate their addition to their family. That's due here in a little bit. So we're going to go have some fun, celebrate Jeff. So I will not be live Saturday. I'm going to the game Sunday too, but I will be on Sunday afternoon. But I'll be here Friday nights as well. So you guys won't miss me too much. I'll just be taking one day off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to feel comfortable with it. I feel guilty, but I got to celebrate my buddy in one of the greatest experiences of his life. But everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with me tonight here on the postcast. I know it wasn't the most fun night to be a Reds fan, but just know I appreciate you all. I'm Tim Daniel. Please be sure to subscribe so you can get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds as well. Go Red Legs. I will see you tomorrow.